Hey, thank you so much for clicking on my video. Today I will be showing you how I achieve this makeup look using mostly Colourpop makeup. So if you would like to see that, stay tuned. To start off, I'm going to do my eyebrows using this Colourpop eyebrow pencil in the color black and brown. I'm just going to line the tops and bottoms of my brows and then fill in the center. So this brow pencil is definitely going to be one of my favorites. It's only $5 and the applicator makes it so the tip is so thin that you can do like amazing hair-like structures. But back to actually what I'm doing. So I am filling in the inner portion of my eyebrow and I'm just going to comb it using the bristle side. It's not a bristle, what is that called? Little brush thingy. I can't remember what it's called. But I'm just going to brush any excess product out of my eyebrow and then make sure that I fill in any gaps. Once the inner portion of my eyebrow is taken care of, I make sure to wing out my eyebrow a little bit just to make it line up with the end of my eye. To clean up my eyebrows, I will be using my Born This Way concealer in the color Tan. And I'm just going to apply that concealer using a concealer brush. And I'm just lining the tops and bottoms of my eyebrow based on like how I want my eyebrow to look. After I've concealed around my eyebrows, I just go back in using the pencil on the outlines of my eyebrows just to make them really stand out. Then I set the eyebrow pencil in place using NYX Control Freak Gel. To blend out my concealer, I'm going to start lightly dabbing on my face using a damp beauty blender. And I'm just going to focus on trying to get rid of those harsh lines because I'm really going to cover up all this concealer using my foundation in the next step. And once my eyebrows look super fleeky, it's time to prep my face. To prep my eyelids for eyeshadow, I'm just going to apply a bunch of my concealer all over my eyelid. Then I'm going to blend all of that concealer out using a damp beauty blender. And then finally, I'm going to apply a little bit of my Nye Banana Powder on top to set the concealer. It's important to set your concealer because you really want to suck up any of that oil from the concealer and create a smooth surface for the shadows. After I set my eyelid using a sponge and a little bit of powder, I'm going to wipe off all of the excess powder using a stippling brush from CVS. To prime the rest of my face, I'm going to be using my NYX Photo Loving Primer, and I'm just going to apply this all over my face using the little applicator at the top, and then I'm going to rub everything into my face using my hands. So for my foundation, I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and I'm going to use my L'Oreal Infallible 211 foundation. I'm just randomly dabbing this all over my face, and then I'm going to use my super new brush to blend it all out. So this is the Pure Skin Perfecting Foundation brush. It's one of those oval brushes that you've seen all over Instagram. So I was not expecting anything from this brush. I thought it was kind of like an Instagram trend, kind of like those weird bras. And I was like, yes, when I found out how amazing they were. So you just rub the brush all over your face and it just mystically blends everything in with your skin. And it gives you full coverage. Unlike beauty blenders, it doesn't suck up all your foundation and it's just great. So check out Pure at Ulta. They have those brushes. So before I do my highlighting and contour, I like to do my eyeshadow. To start off, I'm going to take Fair Play, which is a pressed shadow from Colourpop, and I'm going to apply that to my crease using a blending brush from Morphe. After blending out the shadow using windshield wiper motions, I'm going to pat along my crease just to really pack on the color. And then using a MAC 224 brush without any shadow on it, I'm just going to use windshield wiper motions to blend out all of the harsh lines. Next, I'm going to grab Envy by Colourpop. It's a super shock shadow and a small shadow brush. And I'm just going to pack on that dark color on the outer V of my eye. Taking a blending brush, it really doesn't matter which blending brush you use at this point. Colourpop sent me a free one, so I think that's why I just randomly chose blending brushes. But I'm just going to blend out the dark color on the outer V of my eye. Then using the blending brush that I used earlier, I just blended a little bit of Fair Play on top of the dark shadow to create this little purpley color. Currently, I'm obsessed with using liquid lipsticks as eyeshadow bases. So today, I'm going to be using my NYX Liquid Suede lipstick in the color Sway. And I'm just applying that all over my lid using light dabbing motions. And then using the smallest brush that I own, which is this Morphe smudger brush, I'm going to cut out the crease of my eye by spreading the lipstick upward. I only covered 2/3 of my lid with this color because I wanted to make sure that I had a nice smoky eye on the outer V. To get rid of the harsh line between the light purple lipstick and the dark shadow on the outer portion of my eye, I am going to apply Silver Lining by Colourpop to the middle portion of my eyelid using a shadow brush. Then I blended everything together using my MAC 224 brush. To give that purple lipstick some shimmer, I'm going to apply Bubbly from Colourpop. It's one of their Super Shock shadows. I'm going to apply that to the purple portion of my lid using a flat shadow brush. Okay, and I have no idea why my camera just randomly turned me red, but it'll fix in a second. Before I finish my lower lash line, I just want to go ahead and conceal under my eyes so I don't, hide all that wonderful, lower lash line work. So I'm just going to be using my Born This Way concealer in the color Tan, and I'm applying that under my eye. Making sure to blend in all that concealer using a beauty blender. To set my concealer, I'm going to be using my Nye Banana Powder and my wedge sponge, and I'm just going to pat all of that powder right under my eye. I really like using this little wedge sponge instead of a beauty blender because the shape is just better. That's the only difference really. The shape is better and this is not wet at all. Leaving that banana powder on my eye just to catch any fallout, I'm going to use this B33 brush by Morphe, and I'm just going to smudge Fair Play followed by Silver Lining into my lower lash line. Oh, just kidding. I'm definitely using a smudger brush by BH Cosmetics to smudge Silver Lining into my lower lash line. So, JK, changed it up on y'all. And once all that lower lash line greatness is complete, I'm just going to buff away all of that excess powder using this giant brush from H&M. For the inner corners of my eye, I'm going to use Liberty by Colourpop in this lip brush. And I'm just going to lightly apply this shadow to the inner V of my eye. To contour my face today, I'm going to be using my black Radiance contour palette in the color medium to deep, and I'm going to use a powder brush, dip into that bronzing color, and I'm going to bronze all around my face. So I bronze along my hairline, along my jawline, and then I also bronze a little bit under my cheekbones as well, just to get it ready for all that contour I'm about to do. So I know there's a lot of jumping around between face stuff and eye stuff on this video, but this is literally the way that I do my makeup so I can make sure that there's no streaks, no product is left gunky in unknown places. I don't have time for that. So this is what I think is the best way to make sure all your stuff is nice and blended. But next I'm going to use this angled powder brush, and I'm going to dip into the bronzing shade just so I can contour up my nose a little bit just by going up and down on the sides of it. To contour my face, I'm going to dip into the contour shade of this palette, and using a angled powder brush, another one, I'm going to lightly pat the shade right into the lower portion of my cheekbones. Then using the powder brush that I used to bronze my face, I'm just going to buff out all of those harsh lines and make it look as natural as possible. Continuing along my Colourpop journey, I'm going to apply Holiday, which is a blush that you can find on their website, and I'm going to use my blush brush and lightly pat that on the apples of my cheeks. So this stuff is ridiculously pigmented, so if you end up buying this yourself, be careful, okay? Don't ruin your entire makeup by applying a crap ton of this stuff. After lightly dabbing Holiday all over my cheekbones, I'm just going to go in with an empty shadow brush, and I'm going to blend everything all together. For my highlight today, I will be using two different highlights. My first highlight is going to be Blinded by the Light by Too Faced, and I'm just going to apply that all over the tops of my cheeks, down my nose, on my cupid's bow. I think that's it. Yeah, that's all the places. Then taking a synthetic highlighter brush by BH Cosmetics, I swirled into Churro by Colourpop, and I just applied that shade all over the places that I had previously highlighted. So I have a little trick that I like to use for all of my Colourpop highlighters. I like to lightly dab the shade on the areas that I want to highlight, and then I go in using my finger and I warm it up. It kind of helps blend everything all together, so I definitely recommend using this method if you buy any of their highlighters. And to finish up my eyes, I'm going to apply my Smashbox Always Sharpen Liner to my lower lash line. And then I'm going to apply a very, very, very small amount of liquid liner. This is my black Radiance liquid liner to my upper lash line. I just want to make sure that I apply enough that it will just like hide the band for my lashes. So I didn't go like super wingy with this. So off camera, I applied a little bit of mascara and these Eyelure Bronze Beauty eyelashes. For my lips, I lined them using Rouge. It is actually part of the K-pop series of Colourpop. And then I applied Ice Cube, which is one of Colourpop's bottled lips, all over my lips to create an ombre. And this is my final look. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, everything that I used today will be listed down below in the description bar. See ya!